How to handle customer complaints. This was a requested video and let's get right into it. So this is something that we all face. If you are running a business, you are going to face customer complaints. If you don't handle it right, it is going to be really bad. It is going to be a issue for your business. Your business won't grow, and in fact it is not going to expand your business. So that is something that you have to learn how to handle, and this is something that you have to take care of. So how do you do this? First, you have to understand the types of complaints that people can make. So who are these people who are complaining? What are the different types? So I'll give you some types of customers. One is the valid customer, valid complainant. So someone who has a valid complaint, they have a issue and you are responsible for it. That is something that is type number one. This is common, and if you don't treat them right, it is going to be a really bad experience for them and for you. For your brand, it is going to be a really bad experience, and you should handle these complaints really well. So I'll tell you how to handle them after we go through the types. The second type is a pessimist customer. Now these are entitled customers. These are customers who think that no matter how much, whatever you do, they are not going to be satisfied. They are not going to be satisfied no matter how well you give the service or your product, how well it is working. They still have more expectations, so you can't satisfy them, and they generally don't actually have a complaint. They are just complaining. It's not an actual problem with your product. They just have expectations that can't be met. Third type of customer that you will come across is different philosophy customer. Now this you have to be very careful with. Now they could be different philosophies, means it could be a political ideology, it could be religious ideology. They don't agree with you on certain aspects of your beliefs, and that is why they are always against you. They look at you as an enemy and they are just going to work against you. So if that happens, they also complain, so that you have to handle in a different way. Fourth type is enemy or a competitor. Now you will come across these kind of complainants also. They are going to be from your enemy, or they are going to be from your competitor. They are just trying to bash you and try to bring you down. They are just trying to spread the bad word about your product, and because they are your competitors. Now this especially happens with online reviews or places where they can't be traced. It's not a direct complaint that's going to come to you. Generally there can be that ways also. They will send people to you, but that's very rare. Generally it is online complaints where you can't trace them, who is behind it, or they're just trying to bash you, trying to leave bad reviews against you. That is also a type of complainant. The amount of complaints you will get, that depends on how much volume you do, how much volume of business you do. So the more volume of business you do, the more complaints will be coming your way. That's how it works. So if you are doing a lot of business, a lot of high volume sales, then expect a lot of complaints, and you will have to take care of a lot of complaints. If it is not high volume, if it is low volume sales, then you might not have that many complaints to take care of. These are the 5 types of complainants. These are the 5 types of complaints you can get. After you have understood what type it is, how do you respond? The first thing you have to understand is you have to be really fast when you respond to complaints. This is something that will make or break the situation. If you take a really long time to reply, that is, suppose if a complaint came to you today at 3 p.m. and you haven't responded to it by the end of the day, that's not going to be very good for you. Always reply to these complaints, act quickly. You need to act quickly. Second thing is you have to hear them out. Don't directly start banging on it. Don't directly start defending. Don't do that. This is something that I struggle with myself, because my personality type is I'll try to directly mitigate. So you have to understand, you have to hear. First, let them say whatever they are saying, hear them out, and try to find out what kind of complaint it is, what's the problem, everything they should be able to tell you. After they are done, then you respond. Till then, don't try to defend, don't do anything like that. Just wait for them to tell their side of the story first, because you are there to hear. The next point is, if possible, always meet them face to face or do a phone call. But avoid emails or anything like that. Text cannot convey tone and it's just not going to work. If it is possible, always use face to face or phone, because that is the best way to interact with a person, and it's much more genuine, it's much more direct. The next thing you have to remember is, don't treat your complainant as an enemy. So always thank them for giving you the complaint. Think about it, so many companies have to pay focus groups to get some kind of response, to get some kind of critique. If someone is speaking out to you, that means so many people have thought about it. So many people might have thought about the same thing, but nobody got that complaint to you. But this person has taken the courage and brought that complaint to you. You didn't have to pay anything, you didn't have to do anything. They brought that complaint to you, and it has shown some lack that you're facing, that your organization, that your product or your service is facing. So don't treat them as an enemy. Always thank them for giving you that complaint. Next point is, when you try to solve this complaint, always try to find a middle ground. Avoid conflict. Don't get into a conflict with them. Try to find a middle ground, a place where they are also happy, you can also deliver on it, and so you are happy. Not too much loss on either side. Always try to find a middle ground. Always speak like a human being. Don't use scripts. I always think that that's the best way. If you use scripts, that feels robotic. When you're saying sorry, if it's just a script, if you don't actually feel it, that feels robotic. So people will catch on to that. It doesn't feel genuine. So don't use scripts. Be genuine. Talk to them directly. Say what you mean, and that's how it should be. The next point you have to remember is, remain calm. Don't get angry or confrontative or do anything that is going to be bad. Remain calm. If you don't remain calm and it turns into a very bad confrontation, a bad experience for the customer, they are going to spread that 3 times as much as a good review. So if someone has a good review, a good experience, they might refer it to 3 people, 4 people. But if that same person has a bad experience, they are going to spread this to 10, 15 people. So bad experiences spread far more than good experiences. So you can't counter this. So try to remain calm. Don't make it a bad experience for them. I'll tell you my experience. I had a bad experience with one government organization recently, and it really hit me bad. So I talked to so many of my business contacts about it, and they also got to hear the experience. Now what's going to happen when they have to talk to this organization? Whenever they have to, that's going to be already having a bad experience. So many people already have a bad experience through my experience. That's how this works. So always, when you're handling complaints, you have to be very careful. Apologize for the bad experience if it is your fault. If it is something that you did, your brand did, or your product did, you need to apologize, and it should be a genuine apology. Try to tell them that, okay, we will try to solve this, we will not repeat this in the future. If it is a genuine problem, if it is something from your side, that is something that you owe them. Offer the solution in a very calm way, in a very direct manner. Don't just beat around the bush and give them a run around. Don't ever do that. It has to be a genuine solution, and it has to be direct. Don't try to sugarcoat it or anything. Tell them, okay, this is the solution that you have, this is the solution that is going to work, and try to get them to understand why you're offering what you're offering. And if they can understand that, then you have come to a middle ground. The last point you have to remember is, always follow up. The thing that most people, most entrepreneurs, most business people mess up with is after you get a complaint, you solve it and then nobody follows up with it. You need to follow up with this person and make sure that they are happy with whatever solution you have given them, or follow up later down the line, so that they understand that you care about them. If a customer finds out, if a customer feels that you care about them, that's the best way to keep business up. That's how it works. That's how business works. If you have any comments or suggestions, leave them in the comments below. If you have any topic suggestions, you know what to do. This has been Jace for TopEvt. I'll see you in the next video.